Morning, Dawn.
Good morning, Mark.
All okay?
Yes, thank you.
Good. I feel this is a very important video cast, one of the most important ones in terms of advice and feedback. So, yeah, I feel a little bit on edge, nervous even.
Or just in case you give the wrong advice.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll come to that in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. You look very glamorous as usual.
I'm going to work today. I'm going to do some gardening. I've got a whole day of gardening planned.
Oh, you've recovered from your aches and pains from clearing the...
Yes, I did. Yesterday, I didn't do any more, but yesterday was a good recovery day. I went out shopping and did a few jobs, but nothing like I did the day before.
Good. Okay, I'm glad you're feeling better. Episode 68. It's Saturday, the 30th of May, 2020, and yeah, my mum and dad's wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
They won't be together, obviously, because he's no longer with us. But yeah, it is a significant day. Good news on the music front. Barry Royden continues his role. Fourth day in a row. I did have the points.
I think Matt Barry might be in the lead.
I think he is. I will update you. I think he's got 8.0 to Angie Crush's 7.5, I think.
Yeah.
I should have had that prepared. But yeah, we are keeping a running total. But basically, there's only 4 people involved. Angie Crush, Barry Royden, Steve Fury, and Tony Fulbrook. So, and they're all so good. I think it depends who's working and who gets up on time. So,
well,
yeah.
they could be members of our quiz team next time we do a quiz.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had Barry got photographed by Ringo Starr, who of course was the drummer with the Beatles, and that linked with John Lennon's song previously, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And now we've got the follow-up today, and we've got to try and identify this music, the artist, and the link. I can imagine all 4 of them sitting there desperately.
Why did you post it? Yeah, so I can imagine. Well, you know, it keeps them entertained.
You're very tall today. I'm a bit...
No, you're just short.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
You ready?
Yeah. Good. Well done. That was quite clear.
Yeah, I do definitely want the link though. No mucking about, not just with the...
No half points today. We need the link. Oh.
Yeah, don't just... I won't be impressed if you just put the music down. Do need the link, and don't put the music and give it away to other people. It's hotting up, so we've got to be careful. Okay, the photo or video section now, and I've got something new for you. Where you've got to have your brain alert.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know the show Catchphrase. We're given it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was inspired by a couple of people I know, John Sanderson and Maddie Austin, who posted one to a running group they belong to yesterday. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. We'll test Dawn out on it. If you can't get it, we'll throw it out to the audience. And I'll tell you afterwards, all right? So I'm going to share this with you. This is why I don't like the camera angles using a phone. Got too many chins. You know, I haven't got that many chins, really. But you know,
oh, for goodness sake, stop waffling about your chins and get on with it, man.
Ready? Go listen carefully. Right.
Okay, Dawn, this is your catchphrase. You ready? Oh! Oh! Any good?
Well, all I can see is you're touching glass and you're going, oh, and I mean, what's that going to connect with?
Okay, so you don't get it. Good. I've done well there. Come on. What's the catchphrase? Come on. Say it as it is. Say it as it is. That's what they say.
Can we have the present? Can we have the presenter back? Because you're useless.
Have a stab.
I don't know.
Okay, audience. that's going to
Don't
be.
touch my wine or something.
Stop whining. Stop rattling on. Okay. Oh well, audience.
Rattling on. I mean, that would have been easy.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but we didn't have a rattle. Okay, that goes out to the audience though. That might involve a few other people. I'm sure.
Yeah, see if you can get that, guys. Huh.
You can go 1-0 up on Dawn if you get that one.
Oh, I live with him. I have no way of knowing how your mind works. So I have no hope in hell of getting it.
Right. Feedback then. Lots of good feedback. As I said, Scott Sherman's dogs. George has had a very severe haircut in lockdown.
Oh, bless him.
We had quite a few photos. So if you want to see photos of some of this stuff, go on the feedback from yesterday. I haven't got time to show all the photographs today, but yeah, is appreciated any photos coming through. Scott confirmed cows are dangerous. He's been chased by a herd of cows on the North Downs quite a few times. It's not really a grizzly bear, but
Not as dangerous as a cougar or a bear, I have to say here. Let's qualify this. But we haven't really, I mean, JT jumped over a snake, didn't he? I mean, God, I have seen it. I told you yesterday, I've seen a snake when I've been walking with Oscar.
you've got to watch cows, though. Just be aware of them. People have been injured. Graham Saker followed up my comment. He's dissing the Medway towns. You know, with Barry Royden was threatened by a bloke with a hammer when he was out running, and that does go on.
I just don't understand people. I'm beginning to struggle.
I don't think it was recent.
No, but even so, a hammer to me is a lethal weapon. Threatening somebody else, you're going to do a lot of damage. So why would you do that?
Yeah, especially our Barry, the music champ. You know,
Yeah,
have respect, honestly.
he's not that threatening, is he? Bless him. Good job he can run.
And Graham, good news on Graham. He's managed to get the okay to get into his holiday caravan. Special circumstances because they'd had a leak pipe in the flat and conditions were pretty poor. So good luck to him and Julie. That was good news. I think, and we asked Angie Crush's opinion on that at one stage as well. But yeah, good news for Graham.
Yeah. It just goes to show that if you persevere with some, I mean, it must have been awful with a burst pipe, you know, trying to get up, you know, you're actually living in those rooms. It must be awful for them. And so, you know, you have to have a bit of compassion in this world, and there doesn't seem to be an awful lot around. They all seem to be pointing fingers. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that. And it's not nice. And somebody posted something on Facebook about being kind, and it said that we're all at different stages, and we might not be in each other's bubble. But does it really matter? Just be kind.
Yeah, and a good technique. Graham and I spoke about it. He'd emailed the council and the holiday park, and of course there were rules and regulations about who can stay there and who can't. In the end, after a bit of toing and froing, we talked about it and thought that probably a good idea was actually to phone up and chat through. But the key question is appeal to somebody and say, I was just wondering if you're really able to help me, because people find that quite difficult to turn down if that's the approach. So, yeah, anyway, good stuff there. I'll come on to Grazia in a minute. But Hubert from Canada was explaining that the word cougar comes from the Vancouver ice hockey team, who used to tour around. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how it links with mature women chasing young blokes, but yeah.
Well, I think they were pretty aggressive.
Oh, is that what it is? Right.
Yeah, so that's hence the reason. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
I think most men are frightened of women. Let's put this way.
Yeah, absolutely. Hubert, in the question of what's the one thing in the world he would like, is world peace or a vaccine? Very appropriate. And Barry Royden chipped in with health and happiness for all his family and friends.
Yeah.
Makes your greenhouse look a bit selfish, doesn't it?
There are all those things. Yes, but it's what you want and at that particular time. I'm sure Barry would want something else.
Yeah.
Just not saying. I mean, we all have health and happiness, and I make sure that, you know, like my parents are okay and things like that. I do all of those things before I yearn after my greenhouse, if you really want to know.
You hear all this noise going on in the background. There's loads of roadworks. They're digging up the road. Hold on. Just cut it out a bit. I'm a bit worried it's ever so loud. I can't think there's much of a road left outside. They're really going for it.
It's roadworks.
I don't know. The whole thing's vibrating here.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, more loads from Hubert in Canada. He suggested if I do change my car, get a Tesla. It's better for the environment. I was going to take a photograph of our garage and show him how much stuff I have to get into a car, and how he's going to resolve that one. But I might do that at some stage when we go to cross-country meetings with all the tents and everything. So
I told you could get an old van. It's fine.
old van, there you go. Yeah. Can you hear? You must be able to hear that. Crikey.
I can hear it now.
Yeah.
What is going on out
Sorry,
there? I'll have
sorry,
to talk to them and say, look, this is Saturday. Stop it.
We're still waiting to hear the story with the grizzly bear with his youngest sister, Sarah, whose nickname was Scary anyway, but it turned out she was called that because she used to like books written by Richard Scarry. There you go. And Hubert himself, nickname was Boots, which I should have remembered because he used to wear red rubber boots when he was little. I don't think he wears them now. Okay, just to clarify that. Now, on to the big question, Dawn. Grazia.
Oh, God.
We saw her at Sainsbury's yesterday, and
Only briefly, she was coming out and I was going in. So
she posed this question, and I feel that everybody should take responsibility for this. And so, any advice? The big question was: she's seeing her boyfriend for the first time since lockdown on Sunday, and they're going for a walk, and then they're going back to Grazia's house, where, of course, the new regulations allow that, providing they stay 2 meters apart in the garden. But she threw in this curly ball, and we're not absolutely sure what she's getting at. She said, I'm not sure we can keep outside all day.
Well, she's probably thinking, like, if you want to go to the loo, you're going to have to go inside. And I mean, common sense says, yes, go in and use the toilet by all means. But, you know, gel your hands before you go in or something like that. I really am sort of like, not sitting on the fence, but I'm sort of like thinking the rules haven't changed yet.
No, you can't sit on the fence. That reminds me. She's got a neighbour who's going to report her to the police if he goes inside. I don't know quite how this conversation is going.
I do think that if he needs to go to the toilet, that he hasn't got an awful lot of choice. You can't expect him to go in a bucket or something in the garden, can you? That's pretty disgusting. But I mean, I do think common sense. But I mean, I'm you know, if he went in and had like lunch inside, I mean, that's different, isn't it? And you're laughing because there's all sorts of other implications as why you want to go in with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, isn't there? And so you do have to be sort of like conscious of what we've been asked to do. So I mean, if I was a neighbour, I would think, he's out in the and if he disappeared and had to go to the toilet, I wouldn't be ringing the police.
I feel like you're dancing around the question, actually.
I am. I let's put it this way: if was in the garden and they needed to go to the toilet, they could go to my toilet and go. And then I've had a guy in to do the alarm system. What's the difference? He had to use the toilet. I cleaned it after he'd been and cleaned the door handles and everything else.
Did you give him a cuddle? Did you give him a cuddle? Were you intimate with him?
No.
Oh no, that's right. That might come into play though, if boyfriend and girlfriend.
I I don't think we should discuss Gracia's love life on here. And to be quite honest with you, Gracia's a very sensible person. She will work it out. But if if he's going to be there all day long, or going for a walk, he's having a drink, etc., he will need to go to the toilet at some stage. Shut up.
Right, I've actually done some research on this. So
You come up with your answer then, Mr. Research.
first of all, starting just on the periphery of this, I read in the Times yesterday that 7 out of 10 people who are testing positive for the virus have shown no symptoms at all. So that is something, not just with this situation, but with any situation, to bear in mind when we are releasing the lockdown procedures a little bit. So Grazia mentioned that they've been in lockdown. Neither of them have seen people in close quarters. Well, they've seen them from more than 2 meters, of course, but they've kept.
Hold on a second. If you've been out and about, you have a risk of catching it, regardless of whether you've been in contact with people, etc. You're minimising it.
Yeah.
I agree, but at the end of the day, there is no guarantee at this moment in time that you haven't got the virus.
Chance, yeah, fair enough, yeah. Wash the guidelines are still wash your hands a lot, as you said, and stay 2 meters apart. Don't go indoors.
I've got no problem with being 2 meters apart from you at the moment because you're just getting on my nerves. Get on with it.
Well, this is important. You've got to be clear on this, right? We're a public service. Just as an aside, when talking about the neighbour, 7.1% of people have reported people to the police. That's quite a large number. It's like 1 in 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I'll go back to this thing that I've been reading. It says some people don't agree with lock-up. Other people want to stay at home.
Oh, it's very divisive, yeah.
Some are still scared that there might be a second wave. Some are sighing with relief that they can go back to work and do things. The whole point is we're all at different stages, and so we should be kind. And okay, if you think something's wrong, why would you call the police? Why wouldn't you have a chat with your neighbour and say, "Oh, I saw so and so," But
well, yeah, not
everyone is interpreting slightly differently, perhaps the rules, etc.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult. I think common sense prevails, and keeping your 2 meters distance, gelling your hands, washing your hands, just being sensible will help. But it doesn't help. The intimacy for someone who doesn't live with someone else, girlfriend and boyfriend, you can't hold hands. Sorry, you can't cuddle.
I'm inching towards that. Just,
Get on with it.
Mr. Whitting, the Chief Medical Officer, says you are allowed to access the garden, right, via going indoors.
Yes.
Right, so you shouldn't touch anything. So you can go through the house, don't touch anything, straight to the garden. And you are allowed to use the loo.
Yes.
That's what he said.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, now I'm inching towards it. My mum has done that, and she had a bowl of disinfectant to put cups of tea in.
Bleach. Oh, but watered down bleach it was.
Yeah. And she wiped down the toilet. Okay, so it's about planning, it's about thinking, it's about preparation. 14% of people have really broken lockdown rules and allowed somebody to visit in their house. Okay, which is shocking, and it says 14% of people are already doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. Figures are a bit sketchy about intimacy and boyfriend, girlfriends, etc. I think it refers to lovers, which I think is even, that's people you shouldn't really be seeing, perhaps. So it's a bit sketchy. Now, we still haven't come up with a solution. So my solution is, proper solution probably is put a little shelter up in your garden, and whatever goes on behind that screen is up to you. So your neighbour won't. What's wrong with that? and it will torment the neighbour. It will torment the neighbour. You just put a screen up. They won't have a clue what's going on. That, you know, as long as it's big enough, it's more than 2 meters wide. They will be absolutely livid. They won't have a flipping clue. So that's number one. Number two, make sure he's walking slowly towards the house. When he accesses the house to go through to the garden, prove to your neighbour he's really, really slow, and take advantage of that little walk between the front door and the back door to the garden in whatever way you want to. But, you know, legitimate as far as the neighbour's concerned. You've got to be quick, obviously. Third one, similarly, Mr. Whitting says you can use the loo, but he doesn't say what for. So use your imagination there as well. That's all I'm saying. I can't offer any more official advice. You make the decision, but I'm just saying deal with the neighbour in that respect. I think they're quite good. You've got 2 or 3 solutions there, Grazia. Good luck with it. I don't want you to report back. Make sure you wipe him down afterwards, disinfect him, and send him off happily, all right?
And one other thing is just have a brief chat with your neighbour and say that your visitors are...
How frustrated you are afterwards.
No. Just say that visitors are allowed to use the toilet and be sensible, but I've got to clean it all down before I sit on it. And then she'll realise it's not such an easy job. You know, make the point to the neighbour. Try and get her on your side. Rather than just rush in and get a screen. She might ring the police and say, there's a screen up in my neighbour's garden. Well, I don't know what she's doing behind it.
No catchphrase or pun intended there, was there? Easy job.
Easy job. No easy job. Stop it.
Okay, that'll do. We've been going a little while.
Yeah,
loads more. We're safe for another day. Have a good day, everyone, especially Grazia this weekend. Well, it's tomorrow. We'll have another episode before, but she's got time to plan and deal with the neighbour. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I'd have a chat with her, because at the end of the day,
I'm not having a chat with her about it. Flipping heck. Oh, with the neighbour. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake, man. Just go. Goodbye.
Okay, cheerio.